been a while since I've seen all of you and have made a video. First, I just want to say thank you for all the people who have been like watching my videos, liking them, leaving a comment, and subscribing. I hit 100 subscribers about a month ago. Well, no, not a month ago, probably almost a year ago. Actually, more like probably like 5 months ago. But yeah, like I'm just really surprised like the channel is still growing. And I just want to say like really thank you for everyone who's like just been subscribing. Please share the channel if you like the channel. Like it, leave a comment, subscribe, and share it. I absolutely appreciate it. This video is going to be a life update and just a little bit of update on the Canon Pro-2100, since people still, leave comments for me on those videos and still have questions for me. So first, the life update. I have moved. I've moved continents. Before I was in Florida and now I am in Scotland. So that's like one of the big life updates that I did. I'll do another video as to why I moved here like fully, but basically I moved here just because I wanted a different art scene. The way you sell art here is a little bit different. Well, it's a different setup, how you would sell it in America. And yeah, I just wanted to, try it. Why not? I'm not married. I don't have kids. And I also don't need a visa, because I actually was born in Scotland. So yeah, anyone who wants to ask me visa questions, I don't have the answers for them. Unfortunately, I was born here, and so I can legally stay here, have a passport and everything. So yeah, that's basically what I've been up to. It's been a little difficult making the art for a while. I think maybe it was just the mood, maybe I was just exhausted, maybe I was just happy to finally get a job, which people should know that within like a week of being in Glasgow, I got a job. And I was super impressed about that. I was so happy. So maybe I've just been busy with that, but I am starting to like crank out the artwork again. I am start thinking about doing the shows again. It's starting to get a little bit warmer in Scotland, so yeah, a lot of these shows are starting to like pop up a little bit. It's still, I'm really aiming to do a show either at the end of this month or starting next month. Like I really, really want to. So yeah, I've been making like multiple pieces of art this past month, and I've really just slowly been cranking it out. But it is good to like have a job. I work from home, which is really nice, and I only work 2 days a week. So it's usually enough to pay the bills and maybe other expenses and pay my rent. But I do have those slow months, and yeah, I definitely could fill those up with maybe selling art or possibly expanding my business in, I don't know, I might do a tutoring business just to make a little bit more money on the side. So that's one of the big updates that I have. The second big update is, well, I wouldn't say big update, since obviously a lot of people who have probably subscribed to this channel subscribe because they saw those Canon Pro-2100 videos. You're probably wondering then, of course, what happened to the printer. Well, I've left that at my parents' place because obviously I was not going to move a who knows how much that thing weighs printer across the ocean. So that being said, I guess I'll give an update on it. It had been about a year since I had used that printer. Still have about 3 or 4 inks that I still need to replace. The inks, on the starter inks, I will say they do last a while. Now granted, it's not like I was printing every day. I was printing, maybe every couple of months I would just do a lot of like print runs. So it's not like I was doing it every day or even every month. So it did last. Those sample inks that they give you did last me a long time. I know someone left in my comments, is it sort of required to buy inks when you get the printer? It's not required. They are going to give you some, and it is enough. However, if you think you're going to print a lot, or what I recommended to this person is, if you're going to, if you have the money for it, I would say like buy, buy a set of inks, buy 12 of those inks, or buy how many you can up front. Just because, like I said, I doubt anyone has just like, over a grand sitting in their pocket. Those inks were like $100 each. And actually, no, I think they've gone up in price a little bit. They're like $110 now. 110, and you need 12 of them. So yeah, it's a lot. Like, and I was like kind of slowly buying them like as they were slowly going out and getting low on me. Yeah, and they don't go out all at once either. So some of them go out at the same time, maybe like 2 or 3 of them. But yeah, they all go out and run out at different times. So that's one thing. 2 is, paper. I would say that's probably something caught. Okay, I just drank a little bit of tea. Yeah, the printer. Oh, well, really the paper. Yeah, that one was a little strange to gauge. So when you load the paper in, and I'm talking about like loading rolled paper, not like putting in individual ones. Loading rolled paper, I would say, so loading it was fine, but then, the Canon printer is supposed to be able to calculate how much paper you're using. The first time I put in loaded paper, I would say it told me I was low on paper way before I even like had to run out of paper. It was like it was telling me like way too soon. The second time that I loaded a different set of rolled paper, then it told me that I had ran out maybe, what was it? Oh, then it didn't update me that I basically ran out. Like I was doing a print job and boom, that was it. I was just out of paper. So I would say that's like one of the negatives that I have with the Canon Pro-2100. The second negative that I probably has, and I've noticed that just because we also had another Canon printer. It was just like a regular at-home printer. And it could be our internet. I could be totally wrong, but one of the issues that I had with the Canon Pro-2100 and just the other basic Canon printer that I had is that every once in a while, it would just forget its IP address. And I constantly had to like maybe reinstall the printer, or maybe just like, like I know the smaller printer that's just like a home printer, I would just have to basically unplug it from the wall and then plug it back in, and then it would figure out what it was. I know the big Pro 2100, I think I would just reinstall the thing. I would just delete whatever old IP address it had before and then put in a new one. Why it does that, I have no idea. I don't know if it's a Canon thing. I don't know if it was like our crappy internet. But that was the only other common thing that I was experiencing. There have been people who have like left comments on my videos asking me questions about maybe their Pro 2100, or I know someone left a comment about their 14,000 one. And so some people get like different little issues. Again, they all could be very well like user issues. I just know those were the two things that were like really, again, that got kind of annoying. Beyond that though, everything worked fine. It's great. Seeing as how I've moved, people are probably gonna wonder like, well, how am I gonna use the printer now? I've thought about either one, sell it for probably like 2 or 3 grand, or 2, still use the printer. My goal really was, since it's at my parents' house, there is a really big show called Christmas Made in the South, and they do come to Jacksonville, and I figured, okay, maybe when I visit my parents, which oddly enough, that would have been around like Thanksgiving time, I can go ahead, make my massive prints, who knows, probably even pack a few and take them back with me to Scotland. So I have no intentions of getting rid of that printer. I still really want to use it. I would say another big thing to be aware of is what size prints you're going to use. Most of the prints that I made were 8x10, 11x14. Maybe I would do 16x20, but that printer can do up to 24 inches wide. And for a while I was kind of like, I'm not making any really, really, really big prints. Now, to be fair, like obviously I need to make prints that customers are going to want to buy, and probably that will fit inside a regular, frame. So I think had I probably kept that a little bit more in mind, if I were to do this all over again, I probably would have just bought the Canon Pro-1000 instead of the 2100. But at the time, I also had the money for this printer, and I just wanted to take a chance, and I did. And I don't have any regrets of what I bought. But if like money is like a really like serious issue, like if you're trying to decide like which one, like the 1000 or the 2000 series, I think that's one thing to probably keep in mind, is the fact that you might still be doing, even though you probably really want to do big prints yourself, and that you might get custom orders from people, on average, like if you go to an art show or anything, you're probably going to still be selling 8x10s and 11x14s. Those were like the two most common sizes that I use. Now, granted, obviously, I wasn't just printing one little 8x10 on a piece of paper. I was printing several sizes on like one big sheet. So I would have like maybe like one print job, I would probably have like 6 8x10s, or maybe 4 11x14, I think I said. I would have maybe those. I'd have like various sizes on like one sheet and print that out. So it's not even like I was just printing it out one by one. I would just do a big print. I would cut them up and everything, and do what I needed to do. But it did like kind of occur to me like, oh, I'm not fully using this printer to its capacity. Like this thing can do up to 24 inches wide. I should be making massive prints and selling them. And I have sold a few. I think the biggest print that I sold was 16x20. Didn't manage to do a 24 one. Maybe it was 24, but it was a pretty big print too, and I was happy that I sold it. So yeah, I just wanted to like give those updates on the printer, because I'm fortunate that when I have talked about the Canon Pro-2100, people have left comments, people have liked the video, and people have subscribed to the channel. So I really appreciate that, and I just wanted to give an update of what's going on with the printer and what's going on with me just personally. Like I said, I moved about 4 months ago, so I've been here since like mid-February. Yeah, been up here since, got a job. It was slow to kind of like crank out the artwork and get back into that mode again, but I'm feeling pretty energetic. I'm getting back into the mode of just making art and being a little bit more consistent with it, and I want to be consistent with the videos as well. Next upcoming video, I think I want to talk about, why I went back again to WordPress. I've gone back to like hosting my own website, so I'm doing that. I'll probably talk about maybe, what I'm using to sell my products. I use a Zettel. Might even talk about, honestly, art as well too. Like maybe just the different tools that I'm using to make these collages. And really just anything else that anyone suggests. Just recently I've also found out people have been watching my art booth video. And now obviously I'm not going to be having like an art booth here because, like I said, they sell art a little bit differently here. But, I would also probably do an update on the art booth and maybe a comparison between selling in the US and selling here in Scotland. So yeah, there'll be a few updates, and I want to do like maybe one video per month. Just whip out my phone, take a video, which is what I did today, So thank you everyone who has subscribed, who's going to be watching this video. Please, like it, leave a comment, share it, tell everybody that and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.